Good morning. It's Jeff Dunham.
Jeff Dunham, good morning. I appreciate you checking in. How's the family doing?
Everybody's doing just great, I think. They're all at school. How the hell do I know?
A Still Not Canceled tour coming to Intrust Bank Arena Thursday, the 25th, 7 p.m. Tickets still available. New special out on Comedy Central is I'm with Cupid. Happy early birthday.
Oh, thanks. How did you know that? Yeah, next week. One more.
One more trip around the sun, as they say.
That's it.
So. I have to start here, and I don't expect you, obviously, to remember this, but shortly after your appearance on Carson back in 1990, you ended up going onto a morning show in Boston, Lauren and Wally on WVBF.
I loved Lauren and Wally. They were awesome.
So
yes.
I was just starting there, and you were one of the first celebrities I saw walk into the morning show as I was just standing there sucking it all in like a sponge, and you were hysterical then, you're hysterical now, and it's sort of a full circle moment for me, so...
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah, those guys were great. How long neither one of them are still on, right?
No, Lauren finally retired. Gosh, it was like 6 or 7 years ago.
Oh, I just remember that was in the days when you could get away with a lot of stuff, and we just did some stuff on the air that was just wrong.
It was amazing. It was amazing. Look, so let's jump into it. You started ventriloquism at a very young age, choosing to stay in your room and practice for hours and hours and hours and hours. Did your parents ever tell you to put the puppet down and go outside and play, or did they support what you were doing?
You know, when you're doing this, you have this hobby as a little kid. It's kind of great, and I was no good at anything else. I was terrible at sports. Girls didn't pay attention. I wasn't one of the popular kids. Artistically, forget it. Math, no. And so I got this dummy, and I started making fun of my classmates, and suddenly I had a little superpower. And so it was great. But when I got older, when I was in college, I was going to Baylor University,
yep.
And I'll never forget this. My dad said to me, and I was doing shows. That's all I ever did. I, worked at Six Flags, all that kind of stuff. My dad said, the Johnson son is going to be a neurophysicist, and, the Eleanor's daughter is going to be a veterinarian, and we say, well, Jeff still has his puppet show.
But what a puppet show it is, man. What a puppet show it is.
Yeah.
You're like the Michael Jordan of ventriloquism. I mean, listen. Here's the thing. He was told by some people that he just wasn't good enough. And so were you, right up until when you were supposed to appear on Carson the first time around. I mean, what do you say to those people who say, yeah, you're just not good enough?
A couple of those were, there's nothing worse for someone coming up and telling them you're great, you're great, you're great, you're great. Every once in a while, somebody's got to be honest and go, you're good, but you could be better. And if you won't, and if you're not going to get any better, then you're really not going to make it.
Okay.
So to some people, that's discouraging. To other people, that's a motivator.
Yeah.
So I love finding the people that get punched and go, oh yeah, then watch this, and they get back up and keep going. And that's the spirit, I think, in so many of our businesses that we have today, so many professions that if you're turning into a weak person, you're not going to make it. And I try and I have sons, twin boys that are 8 years old, and that's what I'm going to, and I have girls that are older now that are doing great. And that's what I'm going to instill in them, that it doesn't matter if you fail. If you don't fail, you're not going to succeed.
Yeah.
And so that's just a big thing to me. And back then, it was a motivator. When I would do a terrible show and it just wouldn't go well, it's like getting thrown off that horse. It's like, wow, that hurts for a few minutes. And then it's like, nope, I'm going to make this thing happen. So. Yeah, so failure is a great motivator, and criticism can be a great motivator. And also, you get online, you got the haters,
oh, yeah.
And every once in a while, I'll see something, and I'll go, you know what? If one person said that, I bet 100 people think the same thing. And I do take notes, so you can't just read your good press.
Yeah, no, I get that. I often said, disappointment builds character, and people looked at me funny for that, but no, it does. Disappointment builds character.
Of course it does. Disappointment, failure, those negative things that we try and protect our kids from are real character builders. My son got bit by the dog this morning, and I'm like, I'm not going to coddle him too much because guess what? He just learned what he can't do with that dog.
Exactly. You got a whole list of full-time characters. You got some characters that pop up from time to time that you've retired. I want to know, are there any characters that didn't pass the sniff test? Any puppets that you didn't follow through with?
That's a great question. I have a trunk in a storage locker that I call the "What the hell was I thinking" trunk, and it's full of dummies that I'm like, wow, this seemed like such a great idea at the time. And I'll tell you the worst. Well, I'll tell you the one that I joke about now that really wasn't all that bad, but I only used it in one show. So I had Jose Jalapeno on a stick, right?
Yep.
That's my oldest character in my act right now. I came up with him in 1982 or 83 when I was in college. And growing up in Texas and then doing shows in Arizona and Southern California, I mean, the jalapeno on a stick just killed. I mean, it was just, it was just silly, just stupid fun.
Yep.
And so then that was going well, and I thought, all right, the talking food thing, that might be a thing. If I have the Mexican jalapeno on a stick, how about an Italian meatball on a plate of spaghetti?
Oh, no.
So... so I had most of the dummies I make myself, but I had a woman make me a Muppet type character, which was a meatball on a plate of spaghetti, which was a Frisbee turned upside down with yarn and all, horrible, but funny looking, great. So I took him on stage, and only one joke worked, and that was, do you speak Italian? No. Why not? I don't have no hands, right?
Okay, that's funny.
That's the only joke that worked.
What was the puppet's name?
Tony the talking meatball.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's in the trunk, and there's some other ones that are way worse. How about a giant egg, a 3-foot egg that I called Egglebert Humpty Dink?
Hey, that tracks. I mean, why not? Why not?
Exactly.
So you basically made a great living playing with toys. Other than puppets, as a child, did you have a favorite toy that you played with, like G.I. Joes or Legos or anything like that?
Okay, that's a great question also because I have a collection of toys. But my favorite toy when I was a kid was called Captain Action. And Captain Action was Hasbro's answer to, was it Hasbro? Yeah, to G.I. Joe.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway. So what he was Captain Action was just this guy that looked kind of like the first President Bush. Mm-hmm. So he's like this middle-aged guy, and he came with a hat and a sword and a ray gun. But you could buy any other superhero costume for him to add on. And how they did this licensing back then, I don't know. But he became Superman, Batman, Captain America, another one called Sergeant Fury. He became the Lone Ranger, this laundry list of characters that were from all different entities, Marvel and everybody. And he was my favorite one. So he became, I had every action figure in one action figure. He only lasted 3 years, but it was the late 60s. It was great. You can still find him on eBay.
Amazing. Real quick, do you ever use your special superpowers of ventriloquism to mess with people while you're out, like shopping at Target or something? Oh,
sure. Absolutely. And, I did in high school, I could also do a really loud siren.
Oh, nice.
And I actually started, growing up in Texas, I actually started an upstairs tornado drill for about 5 classes when I stuck my head out the door and did the tornado, the siren alarm, and everybody started the tornado drill, and I got sent to the office.
You know what? Do that here in Kansas. That'll be a big hit.
Yeah, perfect.
Jeff Dunham, Intrust Bank Arena, still not canceled tour. Stop on Thursday, the 25th of this month, 7 p.m. Tickets still available. Check out the special on Comedy Central, I'm with Cupid, and all the specials that are run before. Your story would be an incredible movie. Last question, who do you want to play you as an adult in that movie?
Uh-oh. Oh, my gosh. That's... that's a terrible question because if you say something realistic, it's disappointing. If you say something that you really want, you're like, really? That guy? No, that's not going to happen. Will Ferrell, there.
Oh, okay, perfect. All right, there you go. Jeff, thanks so much for your time. Thanks for this full circle moment for me. You were fantastic.
We'll see you guys at the arena. It'd be great.